Michigan Golf Live and the Fore Golfers Network invite you on a road trip to the Mauna Lani Resort on Hawaii's Big Island. I've got an idea for you to try out. Trust me, you're going to like the way this all comes together. It starts with a little slice of perfection in the form of the warm blue waters of the Pacific. Add to that some palm trees in a tropical paradise, and close out the recipe with a resort unlike any other, where guests enjoy amenities on and off the golf course all throughout the resort and are able to immerse themselves in an appreciation for the history and heritage of this entire region. It's a fantastic combination, as we've come to the Big Island of Hawaii to take you on a tour of the Mauna Lani Bay Resort. Part of my job is to put into words things that are really quite amazing, and I'm having a tough time with that here at Mauna Lani because this place is spectacular. So the lady whose job it is to put it all into words is Susan Brito, and wow, thank you so much for letting us into your slice of paradise.
We're very happy to have you here, and we're glad that you're going to share Mauna Lani with your friends, your neighbors, and your audience. It's an amazing place. We're glad you're here.
There are so many things that make this such a special place. Where do you start in your description? Because the list is so long.
Well, we like to say Mauna Lani is the best of everything. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. You can experience the culture of the island. We have historic petroglyphs, we have fish ponds, we have shelter caves. The largest petroglyph field is on Mauna Lani Resort. So you can do all those wonderful things, learn how to weave la haula, you can make a basket out of coconut fronds, you can weave a fresh flower lei, you might learn to hula, you might learn to play an ukulele, or then again, you might just sit in a cabana and let us pamper you, or go to the spa, have a massage, and you might even have time for golf on that day.
Well, it's funny you mentioned golf because, of course, that's our core on our program. And yet, if that was the only thing we came here to do, we would be missing out on so much. So my encouragement is to golfers, get over here, play both the north and the south courses, but don't limit yourself to just that.
Well, that's why we're really proud at Mauna Lani that we have so many options, so many activities for guests.
I'm kicking myself for not having brought my underwater camera because the things that you see while snorkeling off the beach here at Mauna Lani is, it almost looks make-believe. It's so cool.
Well, a lot of people feel like they're swimming in the neighbor's aquarium or at the local sea life park. It's crystal clear out here. Hawaii is truly the most isolated landmass in the world. The Big Island itself being over 4,000 square miles, we have a very sparse population, 180,000 people. So the water is crystal clear. You'll notice in front of the hotel, there's no ski-doos, there's no motorboat. So the water is just awesome, great for snorkeling.
One of the unique characteristics of Mauna Lani is its appreciation of history and its heritage. And so we will meet in a few moments the historian, Danny. But before we get to that, I know it's important to you as well that your guests at least have the opportunity, if they choose to immerse themselves in more than just today.
The elements of Hawaii, you can see them at Mauna Lani. You can discover the past. You can walk in footsteps where King Kamehameha once had his landing, where they brought the boat in, the historic fish ponds. You can learn about the first aquaculture in Hawaii, dating back generations and generations, learning about the petroglyphs, learning some Hawaiian language and the instruments of Hawaii, the things like the ukulele or making a lei, or you can learn to throw a fish net the ancient Hawaiian way. And all of these things are here complimentary for our guests to enjoy. So, have a few rounds of golf, hit the beach, hit the cabana, have a spa treatment, and also experience Hawaii.
And bring your camera, because everywhere you turn here, there are pictures to be taken.
Yes, we want you to enjoy them, but also take the memories home with you to share with your friends. It's really a nice way to do it.
It is a rare treat to come to a resort that has such an appreciation for history and heritage that they actually have on staff someone who's an expert in those things. Danny Akaka, we just call him Danny. Danny Akaka is the man here at Mauna Lani, and this entire property honors its history and heritage, doesn't it?
Yes, Bill. I've been very fortunate to have been here throughout the history of Mauna Lani, and to see, witness, and experience many things here, and to be able to share some of our certainly the history of this property, and of this hotel and resort, with many of the guests that come here, as well as school groups that come here as well, and visitors, and to share a bit about Hawaii's culture for all of our visitors that come here interested in learning about Hawaii.
Let's take one of the many examples of how heritage is honored here, the many fish ponds. There may be guests who come and think, oh, that's nice. There are a lot of different kinds of fish here. But my understanding is that everything has a meaning to it, that it's not by accident. It's not just because we caught some fish and put them in a pond.
Hmm. Well, we have on property, we have what we call the royal fish ponds, ponds that have been here for the past 2,300 years. That's like 250 BC, of which over the past 800 years, our Hawaiian ancestors settled this area, utilized these ponds as food sources for visiting royalty. So they became royal fish ponds. They were guarded, they were protected, they were considered kapu, so off limits to except for those who lived here as the guardians and keepers and custodians of the ponds. This property was a royal retreat, and this is where royalty would come here to R&R, a place where they could enjoy the products of the ancient ponds, as well as recreational fishing here. And there's another added thing here is we call it today a spirit of place. In the Hawaiian language, we would call it mana. It's a spiritual energy. For the many Japanese guests that come here, they call it a power spot. And so, this property, which is centered amongst 5 great mountains, is considered to be, as we would say in Hawaii, the piko, or the navel or spiritual center of these great mountain pyramids that surround us. So the ponds are certainly an attraction for the Hawaiians in an area that's extremely dry, on an island that has almost every climate on Earth. We have 11 of 13 world climates. This place is like a desert. We only get an average of 7 to 10 inches of rain a year. So for people that were basically farmers and fishermen, this area may not have been ideal for farming or agriculture type of farming, but for fish farming or aquaculture, this is perfect.
And it offers a guest experience that you won't find anywhere else. I mean, we're going to enjoy golf. We're going to enjoy the beach and the pools and all of the fun things, but to be able to come away enriched with a bit more knowledge and appreciation is another level of a getaway that I think it's a true feather in the cap here for you folks to have that.
Well, and over the years that I've been here at Mauna Lani, I've come to understand that many of our travelers today come to these hotels and resorts not only to enjoy the amenities that one would find here, but also to learn more about the place and the culture of the place that they're staying. And in that way, it enriches their stay here.
Every serious golfer loves the opportunity to play a golf course that the legends have played, and at Mauna Lani, that's an option open to you, as they have the South and North courses, and the Senior Skins Challenge used to be played here. We welcome in Tom Sursley, the Director of Golf. What a great setting you have for an office.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really pretty. You got a great day today. No wind. It's just gorgeous out there.
So that took away some of my scoring excuses if there's no wind.
Today, but last week we had a little wind, so
There's a neat history to this set of courses. I know that it used to be just 18, and then you added the other and kind of combined some of the holes. Can you give our viewers back in the Midwest a feel for what it's like to tee it up here?
Yes, it started out as 18, and it was really unique. Both nines were completely different. One's out by the ocean, the other went right through a Kiavi forest. And then when in 1991, when they went to 36 holes, They went to the South and the North golf course, and South gets most of the play because we've got 3 or 4 spectacular ocean holes. North is our tournament course, so it's a little tougher, a little longer, a little more undulating. So when the people come from the Midwest, we have trouble keeping them off the South course, to be honest with you.
Well, I've had the privilege of playing both of them, and I remember number 7 and 15 on the South as being the ones where you certainly want to get the camera out and try to score your very best. I also just finished, before we talked, playing the North, and that is a stunning championship golf course.
Yes, we have the Hawaii State Open here every year. This is I think our 6th year coming up, and we get players from all over the country that come, and we play 2 rounds on North, 1 on South, and that's the same comment we get from from all players, but mainly the stronger players. They really enjoy the design of the North course. The architect had a lot more leeway on trees to work around. You've seen that in the fairways and different things and different elevation changes. So, but South has really tough par 3s, and it's so pretty out there that when people come here, a lot of times they don't want to leave the resort because there's such a variety. They'll just play their 4 or 5 rounds and stay right on property.
Well, I can see why. Plus, pace of play is fantastic. The conditions of the course, along with the design, are perfect. The only errors that took place were my user errors with a putter in my hand. Otherwise, everything is in pristine condition.
Yeah, we have Tim Snelling's been the superintendent here for the last 16 or 17 years, and he went to Purdue University, and he is just fantastic. I mean, I'm the director of golf, but the credit on the course condition goes right to him and his crew. They really do a great job.
This is such an awesome place to hang out for a few days.
Yeah, the thing that's really great about Mauna Lani, but really all the resorts on the Kohala Coast, is they're all, the employees here have been here for 20, 30 years. And the guys downstairs, our GSAs, do such an outstanding job that they get to know everybody. And we like to make it more like it's your home away from home. So if you're thinking on a trip to the Big Island, the Kohala Coast and all these courses are really worth playing.
You're going to have to search long and hard to find anything that matches the tranquility, the beauty, the peacefulness, the history, the heritage, and the overall excellence of this resort known as Mauna Lani. What a remarkable way to spend a few days getting away from everything on the Big Island. When it's time for you to escape reality, this is where you want to go. And what you want to do is grab a little hammock right here and just soak it all in.